All right, I think we are live. Tonight we are joined by David, Amazon Hustle. David AMZ Hustle is going to be sharing a story, asking some questions, or answering some questions, and then if you guys have any questions, you can ask as well. David, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. How about you?
Doing good. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah, yeah. I've caught the show a couple times, but I've never really got to be live. This is actually my first time ever doing one of these.
Yeah,
I've never been like interviewed live, told. You know what I'm saying? Like I get on Instagram from time to time and like post stuff, but you know,
awesome. Well, let's make it a good first show then.
yeah.
Cool. Well, if you want to just start us off with like talking a little bit about your background and how you got into selling on Amazon.
So I heard about Amazon probably I guess like 2014, 2015. I used to rank websites in Google and do SEO and stuff like that. And naturally, like I just got into like the like online business space. And Amazon was one of those things that like back in the day, like private label was really heavy. Like they didn't do people didn't talk as much about like retail arbitrage. But I remember I had planned out to do like some private label stuff, but like life got in the way, stuff happened and I ended up not doing that. But fast forward all the way to about 2019, 2020. I'm listening to, I think it's the Side Hustle Show or something with Nick Loper, but they interview somebody named Nate Jackson, and I think I've seen you in Hustle Buddies before too. But they interviewed him, and at that time I had like saved up money and I was listening to like Grant Cardone and some other people, and they was like, you need to put your money in something that you can get a 20% return. And so I was like, well, what can I put my money in? So like I started flipping stuff on like eBay and Poshmark and Macari, stuff like that, buying like liquidation cases, liquidation like pallets and stuff. And I didn't really like taking pictures of stuff. I didn't like doing that at all. Like I hate making listings. I hate taking pictures. I don't even sell on eBay right now. But and I was like, man, there's got to be something else that I can do. So I come across that podcast, and then Nate Jackson's group Hustle Buddies or whatever, and just started like taking in content and stuff, man. And eventually I signed up for Amazon, sent in like a shipment that was like 4 units, and just kept doing it, and listened to everything that I could, and took courses and stuff like that. But yeah, it started way back in the day. But it's taken me like 5 years to actually get started. So
Awesome. Yeah, Hustle Buddies is a great resource. I learned a lot from them, their Facebook group. I'm actually in their insiders paid group now as well on Discord. But yeah, I think I've listened to the interview with Nate Jackson and I've taken a few of his courses, highly recommend to anybody. I really liked his Kohl's course, just breaking down like how to stack all the coupons and cash back.
yeah,
Did you ever get into the Kohl's flipping game that he teaches?
I didn't because my credit isn't that good to where I could have got a Kohl's credit card.
Okay.
So I was like, well, if I can't get the Kohl's credit card and get the 30% off, like I'm just not going to get into it. But
Yeah, there's a one way around that. Once every like 2 weeks or so, they do mystery sales, and you can buy a 40% coupon code on eBay, and
yeah,
it's no Kohl's card required.
that's what's up, man. That's what's
Yeah,
up. Yeah, I never took it. I took the Replens course. That's the only course that I really took from him.
yeah. Replan Workshop was a great course as well. So, when you did you start out with retail arbitrage? You said
Yeah, yeah. I started out with retail arbitrage. I forget. I joined some like Discord group because like you sign up for Amazon and like you're gated and everything, and I'm like, man, where am I gonna find like leads from? So like I joined some Discord group and like got some leads from there, and it was like a bunch of bad buys. My first thing that I ever bought, it was I didn't know to look at variations, and I actually sent it to Amazon, and I noticed that like the variation it was like not ever gonna sell. So like I got it back and took it back to Lowe's, and like I took it back to Lowe's with my receipt and got my money back. That was one of my first buys ever, and I was like, all right, well, I gotta try to do something a little different than that.
yeah. So, for anyone who maybe doesn't know about how to read a listing with variation, do you want to explain like how you're looking at what variation sells?
Yeah, so I mean, recently, like Keepa has come out with I don't know how recent, maybe 6, 7 months or something like that, but like you can go in the data tab on Keepa. I think it's the data, or there's actually a variation tab for it, and you can see the ratings and reviews, and you can just click ratings and it'll sort it, greatest to least. And you see the charts too. Even if like one is greater than the other, you can look at the charts to see like how much, you can do 7 days, 30 days, 90 days to see like how fast the ratings are going up. And if it's like, if somebody reviews something, obviously they're buying it. And,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, that's my number one way as well. It's not the most accurate, but typically you can estimate for every review there's like 100 sales that happen, just a rough estimate. And then I also like to go into data offers and look at the stock levels on the sellers as well to see if
yeah.
that's going down, to see if they're selling through some other stock. What's up, Cisco? Cisco says, David, I've noticed a couple times that you posted active hot leads. Can you talk about your thoughts about keeping a good ASIN close to the best?
So yeah, I mean, I do share some things. I mean, if I post it on social media, like, I mean, either it's probably not something that's like you can buy online because that would tank pretty quick. But um, I network with a few different other sellers, and like I'll share some leads with them, and they share leads with me. And that, I mean, that's honestly like I just spent $750 right before this call because of somebody that shared a lead with me. And like I've never sold the item, like I just they gave me the lead, and but you want to share it. You want to be able to network with other sellers, and like you don't want to. I mean, there's plenty of leads. There's always so many leads out there. I mean, I wouldn't just post my best ones like on Instagram or anything. Like, hey, everybody, this is what I'm selling.
Yeah.
But it's good to share what you're doing with other people.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's especially helpful to have like a small group of people that you share leads with. Like me and Cisco, we have a spreadsheet where we give leads with each other. And like you don't have to post them out and give them to hundreds of people or whatever. But if you can get like a small group, especially in the beginning, of people that will help you find leads and you kind of just give leads back and forth, it can really help grow your business.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So are you still what model are you using right now? Are you doing a lot of OA, RA, or what are you focusing on?
So man, I'm really heavy OA right now. I want to do more RA. It's just like with time constraints and stuff. So part of what I didn't say earlier was like I still work a W-2 job. So I still work 40 hours a week. So that really limits the time that I have to go in and do things, like go into stores. Like I have 2 days off a week, and like on the other days, it's packing and prepping or sourcing, or like and I have a girlfriend, I'm saying, that I spend time with, like family stuff like that. So you know, and potentially like in the near future, I might, quit my job and then have more time. But like I do a lot of OA, and I noticed that, with OA, and I was just looking at all my leads right before, like in Inventory Lab, I looked at everything I've sold all the way past the past year and a half, just trying to look for like other items that like maybe I haven't bought in a long time, and like everything has tanked, and like it just and some things like you can be the first in on something that comes back in stock on OA, and like and as soon as it comes in, as soon as it gets to your door, you pack it and prep it and ship it that day, and it can still tank before it gets to the Amazon and stuff. But I mean, I do a lot of OA though, a lot of OA. I'll try to do some more RA here soon, but with time constraints, it's hard.
Yeah, yeah. If you're limited on time, OA, in my opinion, is better just because you don't have to spend all that time driving around. Then you also touched on tanking. It is an issue, and one thing that I've been kind of harping on my team lately is to focus on graphs where the buy box is like completely flat. And if we see really any kind of increase in sellers, we need to either avoid that product or just wait a few weeks to see how the price is impacted. So
Yeah.
prices are inevitably going to tank, but just really analyzing the data and being like really hard on what products you're going to accept, I think can help.
And sometimes I know that a price is going to tank. I know that it is, but like it's almost like, so I don't really gamble and stuff like on football and stuff much anymore, anything like that. But sometimes I know a price is going to tank, and I like to see if I can like buy it and send it in and sell it before it tanks. It's just like I don't do that on everything, obviously, but like it's just like a little game that I like to play sometimes to see if like I can like outrun it tanking or something. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, especially if you're in like lead lists or bolo groups. Nate Jackson actually used to always say this: like, you either want to be the first one in or the last one out, because the tanking is going to happen in between there.
100%, 100%.
So, what are your primary sourcing strategies? How are you finding your leads?
So I do a lot of reverse sourcing. Um, I do tons of reverse sourcing. Sometimes I'll just go and click on what I'm already selling and look at the other sellers. One of my favorite things to do when I'm doing that is to click on the data tab, and you can see the other offers. You can click on the offers, or you could click on the buy box statistics, because that gives you like a better list of everybody. And I'll sort it by reviews, whoever's got the most reviews, and like I'll pick somebody out that's got like 200 to 1,000 reviews, and it'll take it'll go straight to Keepa, and then I'll sort their store list from priced highest to lowest. And like I want to see the highest price stuff, because like there was something that somebody said one time. It was like, you can make it to 100,000 and sell so much quicker if you sell like higher price stuff. And like I don't know why I didn't think about that, but so like I do that a lot. But I mean, I'll go through the stores on Amazon and go through that. Sometimes I will, if there's a particular brand that I like, I'll pull that brand up in Product Finder, on Keepa's Product Finder, and you can sort it by, you can get it in the filters and be like, I want a product from like $25 to $50, that hasn't had a lot of up and downs in the rankings, or up and downs in the buy box price. Make sure Amazon's been out of stock on it for like the past 99% of the last 90 days or whatever. So like to keep a product finder, like it's really good, especially like you get a brand that you sell, like Jolly Ranchers or Lifesavers or anything that like you come across and you're like, man, I'm finding a lot of this brand. Like go search that brand and keep a product finder, and see what else is there. I've found a lot of stuff by doing that. And I'll also manual source. That's where I find usually the best, most solid things, is manually sourcing. Um, I like to find a store that ships free shipping or ships fast, and that I can get tax exempt at. And if I can do that, then I'll go in and I'll manually source that store. Like I'll go one by one. I use AZ Insight, so um, I can, and I think Seller Amp does it too. But with AZ Insight, I can be on like GameStop.com and like highlight the title of the product, and I can search on Amazon right there on the GameStop webpage.
That's
So
awesome.
I like to do that, especially if I can get tax exempt and shippings, like in bulk, like Sam's Club. Like I mean, it's hard to find a lot of stuff there anymore. I mean, I still buy a lot of stuff from there, but I'll go one by one, just page by page, just looking for stuff like that. And um, that's pretty much. I mean, I have storefronts that I saved. That like there's some storefronts that I've saved in my bookmarks, and I'll check those like every other day just to see if there's anything new. Sometimes look at on the Amazon page, or sometimes I'll get them in Keepa. Just and like a sort. I like to sort it from like highest price to lowest price. I like to see what's selling. I've found a lot of stuff that way.
Okay. Are you using tactical arbitrage at all?
I don't. I did used to use it, and I had a subscription for like 5 or 6 months, and I've found some stuff on there before. Like I found some puppy pads at Walmart that was like really good, but those have since tanked. Man, the best thing that I've ever found, and like this is why I kept tactical arbitrage for so long, is like I found these Bass Pro Shop hats, and I think the black hats are like still maybe profitable. There's still a listing for that, but there was like black hats, green hats, gray hats, orange hats, and like man, they were $5.99 and they were selling for 19.99, 21.99. Like the orange hats were going for like 29.99. Bass Pro Shop eventually shut my account down, but they I found that off tactical arbitrage, and so I kept tactical arbitrage around just because I found that one lead. But I waste a lot of time in there, man.
Yeah.
There's a lot of mismatches, and it wastes so much time for me sometimes.
Yeah, I haven't used it a ton. I've found better results by just doing everything manual. But one thing with the Keep a Product Finder that you're talking about, just for anyone who doesn't know, you can go through that process of like setting filters and Keep a Product Finder with the brand, the price, Amazon out of stock, whatever kind of products you want to look for. Then you can export that and upload all those ASINs into Tactical Arbitrage, and it'll run a reverse search to find profitable sources for those ASINs.
Yeah, and I've done that too. And what was really I've saved so many, like I've maxed out my quota in Keepa before by exporting plenty of ASINs. I've signed up for Tactical Bucket, a free trial. They offered me a free trial of Tactical Bucket for 7 days, and I probably got around between 350 to 500,000 ASINs, and like had all their websites and did a reverse search. And I'm sure there was some stuff like, I mean, it had like thousands and thousands of matches, but like there was so much that just it wasted so much of my time. I'm sure there were some pretty good items in there, but like I just got tired of going page by page and not finding anything. And I know you can set up your columns and stuff. I've watched Chris Grant do it, and like I had my column set up so I could just scroll and kind of like be like, should I investigate that more? But it's such a headache. But yeah, I even use Tactical Bucket, and I still have like all those ASINs and stuff. But I just don't. It wasn't justifying the cost anymore to run those searches.
Do you have any virtual assistants working for you?
I don't. I don't, but I know that you guys do, and like there's a lot of other people that do, and I want to. It's just like right now, I find plenty of leads. Like if there's ever a point that I have like money sitting around, and I'm like, man, I don't know how to spend this money, I would probably venture out a little bit more that way. And I mean, I could maybe find better leads if I had a virtual assistant, but like I do okay now. But yeah, just I get money from a payout, and I'm like, man, I'm not going to be able to spend this money. And then within like 2 or 3 days, I'm like, man, I need some more money. It's crazy how that works. But no, I don't
Yeah.
have VAs yet.
Yeah, if you've got more, like if you have more than enough leads, then you don't really need it. But once you get to that point where you've got like more money to spend than you do time to source, that's when I would recommend starting to build a virtual assistant team.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, and it's what I see myself doing it, but I don't know how to go about like training somebody, to be honest, and that's probably one of the reasons that I haven't started doing it. I just don't know. I mean, I feel like I could tell them what I do, but you know, I have plenty of time now to find leads, and like I would just feel like I would just be spending money for, I guess it's trying it for like a month or two just to see, but I don't know. It's in the future though.
Yeah, as far as training goes, a lot of them at least already know the basics. Like if you throw up a job posting on onlinejobs.ph, you're literally going to get hundreds of applications in a few days.
Yeah,
A lot of these people go through courses over there and training for the Amazon job just because it's like highly competitive and they actually want it. So you'll just have to do like fine tuning for how you want them to work for you, but you won't have to teach them like how to do Amazon, if that makes
right.
sense.
I got you.
I also wanted to go back to how your storefront stocking method. Did you say that you're going through storefronts like actually on Keepa?
Um, yeah. So, like in the data tab, you can click on somebody's name, like a storefront's name, either under offers tab or the buy box statistics. And then it takes you to the Keepa page, and then you can click on their seller metrics, or you can look at the categories that they're selling in and click on the categories. And then you can, sort their store by, rank or, price or whatever, and as well as like you can sort it to where like you can, the no rank stuff, it's good to find stuff with no rank because like people will shy away from that. They won't
Yeah,
sell that, but yeah, it's and then like of course I just highlight it and then search in Google, highlight, search in Google, and then just rinse and repeat.
awesome. I'm gonna have to try that. I've never actually sourced through somebody's storefront on Keepa, but it sounds like being able to filter through their ASINs could really kind of speed up finding those ones that are actually worth looking at.
Yeah, you don't have to click to the next page and to the next page, and you can of course set your Keepa columns up to where you want to see the most important stuff. I have my Keepa columns set up. I don't even know how they come now, but I have mine set up so I can see the current buy box price, the 90-day buy box price, the current rank, the 90-day rank, and I forget what else. I know those are the most important things to me, but yeah, that's how I like doing it.
What are some of your goals for your business this year?
Um, I'd like to do 1 million in sales, and I'm pretty far away from that right now. I don't even know. I want to say that I'm past 150,000 for the year. I think I've been going up every month, but I want to hit a 1 million in sales. I think that I might be able to do it. I do, I like my job and stuff, but I do kind of plan on quitting my job sometime this year. I don't know when, but um, to do this full time, and then I can really grow things from there. I've One of my goals this year was to get a prep center, and I have a prep center that I just started with, and I've sent I don't know, probably 200 units, 250 units there. They've sent in their first shipment for me. Um, they're sending in another shipment here soon, but it's a really good way. Like prep centers, like especially I'm in a tax state, but they they can really like take away the tax, and then like stuff that's like really, if there's a good Rakuten day or a good cashback day on certain sites, I'll source those and send all that to my prep center so that I can keep the cashback money, because like that's, you don't have to really, that's not taxed. And but yeah, prep center, I really want to start utilizing that more. And just, continue to grow. I want to get another Amazon loan. I need more money. My credit isn't that good. I don't know if I could qualify for an Amex, but I just really got my credit good enough to where I qualify for an Amazon loan, because I was denied for that. But like, yeah, grow capital, continue to like grow, man. And maybe I'll hire some VAs, start, or to be honest, I'd really like to own my own place, to own warehouse space, and like have employees and stuff. Like I don't want to outsource everything. Like I want to have everything in house. Like I want to grow a business, but like I don't want to like be in the business. But we'll just see where it goes. I mean, it all started with just shipping 4 units, and like I just will continue to try things and do things. And if I don't like something, I'll go a different direction. But
Yeah. Yeah. It all started with 4 units. It's a
yeah,
lesson to any beginners watching this. You just have to start somewhere. Like David started with 4 units, and then now he said he sent over 150 grand year to date. I just had my 2 years this month, like a week ago, was my 2 years in business. And looking back at my first package, it was just like a little like 12 by 12 box was my first FBA shipment. Now the business has grown like massively since then. So you're gonna
yeah.
start small, but you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, I think I remember you back in the Hustle Buddies group, that you was like five, six, seven, $10,000 a month, and like I had just started. I was like, man, I will never make it to $10,000 a month. That's a lot, but yeah,
Yeah. And then you also talked about like getting more capital. It's another thing. Once you understand Amazon and how to source, it's just about doing that same thing over and over again and getting your hands on as much capital as possible to spend.
yeah, yeah, and that's what I noticed about like now that I went from like a $30,000 a month, like January, February, and like this month I'm gonna do 60,000. I got an Amazon business loan for 30,000 at the end of March, and it's crazy because they offered me 52,000, and I only took 30 because I was like, man, there ain't no way I can spend $30,000. And like now I'm like, man, I really need some more money. But that's one of the big differences. Like, you get the basics down of like finding products and sourcing, receiving those, getting them shipped to Amazon, and then repricing your stuff, which you get a repricer for that. And like managing like the money and the accounting of it. And it's a really basic things. And like then from there you just have to add like capital to it, and like you'll adjust and grow accordingly. But that's a big difference between somebody who sells a lot and somebody who doesn't. Just 15 or $20,000 a month, like it's like the level of capital. Like
Yep.
it's not a lot of like magic. It's just if you can't make money if you don't have money to spend on
Yeah,
inventory.
exactly. What was the term length on your Amazon loan?
2 years, two
Oh,
years
wow.
for like 5.4%, 5.72%.
Wow. That's a long one. I got one back in February and March, somewhere like that. And it was a 9 month term. But what I've heard is once you get closer to like the end of the term length, they'll offer you a refinance option for like a much bigger loan.
Yeah, I'm actually hoping for that within like 6 months, really. Like if they can, or like I bank with Chase, and my credit's going up here, up and up. But like aside from like Amazon stuff, so like I would apply for more credit cards, but I'm trying to buy a house like next year sometime, and like I've already got a bunch of hard inquiries on my credit report, so I'm not trying to like run up trying to apply for credit cards and stuff. But I think I bank with Chase, so I think that they told me when I signed up that they could give me a line of credit if I needed it based on like my banking history and stuff. But we'll see. There's capital everywhere. Where there's a profitable business, people will give capital. So
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I I've never gotten any loans or anything from Chase. I've got a couple of their credit cards. A company that I really recommend people work with is American Express. They're the best for like raising your limits. They've got really good point systems. Or the Plum card with 60-day repayment terms can really help give you another safety net on spending that capital and getting it back to pay it back.
yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you want reselling to accomplish for you? What is kind of your why behind running this business?
Well, I want to do what I want to do. Like I've always been an entrepreneur of some kind. Like I've never like had a successful business, but like I've attempted it in some way, shape, or form. And I want to do what I want to do. I feel like we as humans have a lot of potential inside of us, and I don't want to like I don't feel like I could maximize the potential that I was given and this with the skills that I have and a job. And like I just want to see like what my potential is. Like I think we're made to like, live our best lives and like, sometimes that is a job or something like that, but like I want to run my own life and I want to try things. I want to fail. I want to spend time with family when I want to spend time with family. I don't want to have to work holidays. I don't want to have to be like, oh, you got to show up and work overnight. So you got to do this. Like, I don't want to do none of that. And I don't feel like I have to. And like, I want Amazon and, not only like, I don't want to just all Amazon, but like this like helps build a base of like a solid business and like, expand in the other areas, whether that's, selling on Walmart Marketplace or, eventually I might want to get into real estate or something like that. But, um, it's just, I just want freedom, really.
Yeah, that's the essence of entrepreneurship. I want to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm kind of doing that same thing with Amazon. Like, this business is not going to be what I do for the rest of my life. I'm at a point now where I'm going to grow the business a little more, and then I want to outsource everything and kind of remove myself, except for putting out fires as needed. But I'm recognizing the opportunity here to make a ton of money, and I'm using that as kind of a catalyst to be able to invest in other businesses that I'm more passionate about.
100%. Yeah. 100%.
So, what does your day to day look like? Kind of balancing with your 9 to 5 job, and then how do you allocate time to the business? And when you're working in the business, what are you doing exactly?
Um, so honestly, like my job allows me to kind of like do some of my Amazon stuff while I'm there. And I mean, even if somebody from my job was like happen to watch this, like they know that like we do have time to like do other things. But and it's not that I don't neglect my job because I do because I'm just a good worker. But I can do a lot of sourcing while I'm at work. So usually Sundays are my days where like I do like housekeeping stuff, bookkeeping, reconcile like QuickBooks. Like I have my stuff set up with QuickBooks. And I also prep, I get stuff ready. So I usually send out a shipment on Wednesdays and I usually send out a shipment on Saturdays. If I have the inventory in, I'll do that. But like I'll set up on Sundays, like I'll get everything out, set stuff out on tables. I'll print off labels and stuff. So like Monday morning, like when I wake up, I can wake up and I can immediately start prepping, which is like a really cool like little tip hack or whatever. Like, um, that saying that like if what is it, George Washington was going to cut down a tree. I don't know who it was that was going to cut down a tree, but if he was going to cut down a tree, like he would spend like 4 hours like sharpening his axe, and then 2 hours like chopping it down. So like preparing like the day before to like package and prep. So like as soon as I come in, I can just and I already have in my mind like how I box stuff, but like Tuesdays and Monday and Tuesdays I prep and like send stuff out on Wednesdays. I'm off on Wednesdays. So I'll do some sourcing, either retail arbitrage or buying stuff. I'm usually always like looking at stuff online. So like I'm never really like this is just a set time that I source. Like usually like I'll pull up stuff like when I'm on my phone anytime and like look stuff up. When I'm at work, I'm usually sourcing or looking stuff up, or whatever. But usually on Wednesdays I send stuff out. But like that's what I like to do is get stuff ready the day before, and then that's how I've always done it.
Yeah, yeah, that's good stuff. Look at your week and like figure out when you're gonna have free time to focus on those tasks. So anyone who's like still in a job or you just have a busy week, whatever, planning ahead, getting ready the night before. I don't know if you're a David Goggins fan. You're familiar with him?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he talks about like whenever people are going into a job interview, they're getting ready, they're setting their clothes out, their breakfast, whatever, the night before. But then a few weeks into that job, few months, whatever, they're not so prepared. But especially when you're a business owner, you have to continuously stay prepared and stay ahead of things. Like you said, laying your stuff out the night before so that you can just dive in and get your prep done Monday morning.
yeah. Because like I mean, you can prep so much so fast. Like I usually work in like 2 hour spurts. So if I need to prep stuff, like I'll work 2 hours and like maybe two and a half, three. Um, and like I could prep like 150 200 units. Like I can get a lot done in 2 hours. So like I like to work in 2 hour spurts, and then you know I don't know, that's just how I do, man.
Yeah, so you mentioned that you're shipping, I think you said Wednesday and Saturday if you have enough stuff in. Are you basing that off like number of units, weight, or how do you decide if you are going to do a shipment that day?
um well, I know that I have to ship out something like at least once a week. So usually like whatever I have and whatever I have in my like prep area, like I'm going to send out. Like it doesn't matter if it's only like $700 buy cost and like such and such profit. Like it's not going to make any money if it's sitting here in my like in my work area. Like it's not going to make any money sitting here. Like I got to get it to Amazon. So I like to do Wednesdays and Saturdays no matter how much I have. And if I don't have that much for that week, I'm like, man, I need to buy more stuff. um so like if you're sending stuff out, like sometimes, like, and it's cool to post flex pics of like, oh, I sent this much out, like $5,000 buy cost or whatever. But like, I mean, getting it to Amazon is getting it to Amazon. It doesn't matter if you send it in like a $5,000 shipment or like $1,000 shipment or $500 shipment. I sent something out that was like only $500 to $700 not too long ago. It was like 2 boxes. Like it took me an hour to prep it, box it, all that stuff. Like, just get it to Amazon. And like that's just how I set my stuff up. The
Alexa
flex
loves the
fix.
flex pics.
Yes, yes. Sometimes I might not ship out on Saturday just so that I can have a big shipment the next Wednesday.
Yeah, yeah, but that's so true. Don't let your stuff sit there. I used to do this all the time and I regret it. Like I would buy stuff and then it would just sit there for like a week. Not like I feel bad about this, but sometimes it sit there for like 2 weeks or more. You got to get that stuff shipped out. It's not making you any money if it's not at Amazon.
Right. Right. Don't get discouraged about like, oh well, so and so like shipped out like 5,000 400 units. I need to do that. Like, no, just get it. Like get it to Amazon.
Yep,
Like
get it out the door. Yeah. Do you have any advice for someone just starting out with their Amazon journey?
so I would you need to get ungated and stuff. Um you I mean, I started out in grocery. I figured that was the easiest, and that's how I never started with books or anything like that. I was like, okay, I got ungated in grocery and beauty. But like you need to get ungated in things, and you need to put in the reps of like searching for stuff. You got to have certain tools. You got to have Keepa. Got to have Keepa. You got to understand how to read a Keepa chart. Like that goes back to putting in the reps of like looking at products. Like I look at products all day. Like I can look at what the buy cost is of something, and I can look at what the price is on Amazon, and I can usually tell in my head if it's profitable or not. All the way from like a $10 buy cost item all the way up to like a $50 buy cost to $100 buy cost. Like I just know. And you got to put in those reps of like looking at things. You can join. I I would join some type of group. And I'm in two different groups. I'm in one is the Village, with Alexa and her and Steve, and they run a really cool group. But they don't have leads, but it's a good group to like do it like weekly calls and like ask questions in a Facebook group, and then there's another group that I'm in that has like a ton of webinars and stuff like that. They have a ton of webinars, and they have a lot of leads. And of course, like leads are going to tank in groups like that, but you want to be around other sellers. Like you can only get so far by yourself. Like you can make it so much farther with you're going to have a lot of questions when you start. You have to be able to ask those. You got to be able to ask those questions, and don't be scared to get in like the DMs of like sellers and stuff. I used to not want to like DM anybody because I'm like, oh well, like I don't, I'll DM you if there's a question that I have, I'll DM you. Or there's some people that I just built a relationship on asking questions and stuff like that, and answering stuff like. And there's this one guy, one or two good people that like private message me, and if they have, and I don't even know them, they just started like firing me off question after question after question one day, and like I'll help anybody that asks questions. And so like now when they don't message me for a week, I'm like, man, I wonder what dude's doing. Like, how's his business going? You know what I'm saying? So like, I'll go back and check on somebody that bugs the hell out of me. So like, don't be scared to like, bug somebody. Like, we all want to help each other. Like, we all need help. And, no question is a dumb question, I guess. I mean, I guess there could be dumb questions. I don't know, but,
Yeah, that was a ton of great advice. Like, you have to be networking with other sellers. I joined the Hustle Buddies Insider group whenever it launched, probably 9-10 months ago, and that was one of the best decisions I ever made. Like, they being in that group put me on the path to be focused mainly on OA. It put me on the path to like starting to utilize a prep center, and then now that's put me on the path to open my own, and just being able to talk to other sellers, get any questions you have answered, being able to have access to like insider interviews, or like you said, those webinars. And even if you don't have the budget to join a group, because groups are awesome, but don't let that get in the way of your inventory spend. So if you're on a low budget, I personally wouldn't recommend that you join one. But DM people, start like a little group with other people on Instagram, Discord, whatever. Don't be afraid to DM people, slide up on all the stories of anyone you want to talk to, and just network with other sellers.
yeah. And something else that I would, for somebody that's new too, like you want to get your financials in order. I know a lot of people say that you can start with like $100, you can start with $500. Like, um, I would try to save up like 1,500, 2,000, $3,000. And I know that that's a lot of money. It's hard to be like, oh, well, how am I going to save up that much money? Like, you have to have your personal finances in order if you're going to start a business, and like you can't manage your own financials and like figure out how to like allocate money, track your spending, know what's going on. It's really hard to like start to like run a business, because like if you cannot manage like your 4 figures of like employment, like, or whatever it is, like how could you manage 6 figures and 7 figures? Like, get your personal finances in order, and get your credit right. Because then like nobody, I mean, I see a lot of people flex on credit cards and stuff, and like that's cool and everything, but like when I first started in 2000, at the first of 2021, like my credit, like I ruined my credit. I went through it like a bad period of my life, and I ruined my credit. Like, it was very bad. And like I said, I didn't even qualify for my first Amazon loan. They was like, no, you got delinquent stuff. And like, so I was like, well, let me get my credit right. And then they finally approved me. But like, get your, get your financials in order. Cause like, if you cannot manage like, 4 figures paycheck, like it's going to be hard to manage like those, 5-6 figure payouts and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Do you want to share kind of some steps that you took and that you are taking to repair your credit for anyone else who might be in that situation?
Yeah. So, for one, like pay off delinquent stuff. For sure. That really helped my credit. Like, I had so much stuff in delinquency. And like all you got to do is call them up and say, hey, for step one, really, I would dispute everything, get on Credit Karma or wherever. And anything that shows up as like a negative mark, like dispute it, even though if it was like, you was like, yeah, I did max out those credit cards and not paying back, like dispute it anyway. Because a lot of times like those can fall off, and like whatever doesn't fall off, like what was left, I paid those off. Um, and you can also, um, get on if you have a loved one, like a spouse or a parent or somebody like that. Like have them put you on their stuff as an authorized user, because you know, if your credit's not really good, you probably don't have a lot of credit accounts open. So like you don't have a lot of credit accounts open, and that's one of the things that they look at is to like, well, the age of your credit and the amount of accounts that you have, what kind of accounts that you have. Like if you can get put on like some credit cards and like some like loans of like, well, you, I don't know if you'd want to get put on a car loan, but like you want to get your age of credit, like, and you can do that by like getting on a loved one or, you know, a parent's being an authorized user on their stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's you know, that's helped repair my credit.
Awesome. Yeah, I've never had to build credit from like having to recover from a bad history, but I know how to start from scratch. So I'm only 20, so you know I don't have a ton of experience with this, but I started with my first credit card right when I turned 18. Some advice that I can share for young people trying to build their credit: one, utilize like you said, a loved one, a family member, whatever, who's willing to co-sign. I took out $1,000 loan, and it wasn't money that I needed for anything, but just to have 12 months of payment history, paid like $80 in interest or whatever. I got a family member to co-sign, and that helped with my credit. And then also, if you're a student, Discover is a lot more likely to approve you. If you're currently a student, they'll give you like a student card with a lower starting limit. And then just obviously make sure you always pay that off on time, and then keep your utilization as low as possible. So make sure by your statement date, your balance is going to be essentially as close to zero as you can keep it.
Yeah, 20, get out of town, Cisco says.
You get out of town, Cisco. All right. Well, that's all the questions I had. If you still got a few minutes, we can just kind of kick it for a bit and take any audience questions.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good. It was good talking with you, man, too.
Yeah, that was a great interview. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, it's no problem. But it's cool to see you grow too, you know. Like I said, I remembered I mean, you have a unique name as it is, you know what I'm saying? Like so I remember your name from Hustle Buddies, and it's cool just to see, you know what I'm saying, like you were a little bit ahead of me, and you know, like now you're like doing like leads list and prep center, and like it's going, man. You're doing it.
Yeah. Thanks.
You're
I'm
wearing
excited.
your shirt too, the 27%. I watched an interview where you said you wear that every day. You got like a bunch of those shirts, or it's the same shirt?
Yeah, I got 5 of them.
What Steven said, what's my favorite flip to date? Oh man. So probably not to date, like yeah. So in Q4, I come across some Sonic Care toothbrushes. And I've had some good Lego flips too, but these Sonic Care toothbrushes. So like, I was like, okay, it's Black Friday, Christmas time, Q4. I need to be out and I need to be in the stores. Like, I didn't really know like what I needed to be exactly doing, because like toys was like popular, but like I was like, let me just walk through Target and let me see what I find. And like these Sonic Care toothbrushes were on like the edge of you know, going just walking down the aisle. So like I didn't scan the barcode. I scanned it with the app. I scanned the picture, and like I'm gated in every single one of the listings except for one of them. And so they were on sale Black Friday special for like $30, and they were selling for $80. And so like I listed them for sale. I put like 4 in my cart and like listed them for sale, and like one of them like sold before I left, FBM. So like I was like, well, let me get them all. And so like I went around to Targets all around me, and I bought every single one of them. And like if I bought like 20 that day, like 20 of them sold. And like I was running up some really high numbers, and I was running out of capital. And you could buy 4 of them online, and like I would just buy as much as, like, I would spend so much money. And they were hazmat, and I was shipping them USPS, and I don't think I should have, but they weighed 15.9 ounces. So like I shipped them all first class. So dude, I was making a killing with those. Those were really good. And then, you know, there's some Lego flips, but that's the best to date, those Sonic Care toothbrushes.
Awesome. Yeah, that's another tip there. You said you sold it before you even checked out with FBM. It's kind of like a risk-free way. If you're doing retail arbitrage, you can go get stuff, actually get it in your possession. Don't list stuff that sell that you don't actually have, but you know, put it in your cart, and you can list it. And sometimes if the velocity is good enough, you can sell it before you even check out.
Yeah, and like I said, my first shipment, like I shipped in those things that I shipped in those. It was some type of wood filler things, and I noticed they weren't going to sell, so I got them shipped back to me, like put in a removal order and took them back to Lowe's, and I was like, hey, I need my money back. I mean, I wouldn't do that now. I would just try to drop the price and stuff, but like I was new, and yeah.
Yeah. Sarah dropped another good like credit building, credit repair tip is you can get a secured credit card using your own savings and then make your payments consistently. Yeah, Discover actually they have a secured credit card program as well, where you give basically how a secured card works is you give them the amount of cash as kind of collateral, and they'll give you that amount in a as a line of credit typically, or as your credit line. Discover will give you your money back after 6 months of making on-time payments. So a secured card can definitely be another way to build your credit.
Yeah. Joshua McGill said, would you guys ever co-op a business in the future? And I'm guessing like running a business with somebody else. I mean, I probably personally, I probably would, possibly like do like some type of partnership. I guess maybe that's what you're asking. Um, I mean, I would do a partnership with somebody, possibly, like maybe private label or, whatever the case may be. Like, I might do something like that. Like if we created a brand or private label, but I mean, that'd be the only way that I would probably do that. Would you, Logan?
Um, yeah. I would have to. Yeah, I mean, I'd be open to it. I don't see any specific reason why I wouldn't partner with someone on a business. It would just have to make sense. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
100%.
Oh, he meant us two specifically together.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. If it made sense, like, I mean, yeah, I mean, if it made sense, I would, but you know, I guess if the opportunity presented itself, I mean, personally, me, like, I don't, I'm not personally seeking a business partner for anything. So, and I'm sure Logan's probably not either. But I mean, I guess if it made sense, I know that I've heard other sellers that like have partnered with like on private label products and stuff, but you know, I mean, that'd be the only way, I guess.
Yeah, it's just going to make sense for both parties, and like, what is each person going to contribute? Capital, skill set, all that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Do we got any other questions for David or myself before we wrap it up tonight? We'll give it another minute or so. Next week, we've got the Caleb Roth, the book flipper, coming up on Wednesday. I'm excited for that one. And then it's not confirmed yet, but Richie Hustles will be coming on hopefully sometime next week, but it might be a little bit later. Then I'm scheduling a couple other live streams as well. So we got a couple really good guests coming on.
Hell yeah, Richie Hustles. I used to watch him. He was actually the one that got me to do RA. He was like, one of his videos was like, my favorite color Cisco. This is like his staple question he asked everybody. I used to watch Richie, and he got me to. He was Richie said, you need to be hitting like 5 to 6, 7 stores every day. And I was like, all right, well, I guess I need to do that. And I actually went to a Dollar Tree that day, and I found like an item that was profitable. And then like I was looking around to see like where else could I look, like in Dollar Tree, and I noticed on the top of their at the top of the like around the store was like dollartree.com, and I was like, cool, they got a website. And so like, just a pro tip, like I don't really shop much at Dollar Tree anymore, but like one of the best replan that I've ever had come from Dollar Tree, and it was like a 6, 8, 10 pack of something, and like I would buy it by the case, like cases of it, like spend $1,000 at a time buying it. And I found that because I got out and I went into a store and I put my hands on products and like was finding stuff. So like, but yeah, dollartree.com, tax exempt. You can get it shipped to store for free, which takes longer, but you can basically order wholesale from them if you can
Yeah,
find some good stuff. And the
literally.
way that they Small and Light just went up to like
Yep.
$10, like it's a
Yeah.
good opportunity.
Yeah, I might go into a Dollar Tree or at least go through their website with the small and light increase up to $10 today.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dollar Tree is really slept on, honestly. Like I had a similar situation to you. I literally used to go and like buy 30 cases of a product at once from them.
Yeah.
Dollar Tree has some really solid replenishable items.
Yep. Yep. So like my favorite color, Cisco, is red. That's my favorite color. My favorite meal, I would say like steak and potatoes, I guess. A steak and baked potato. Like I'm from the South, so like a good like steak and baked potato, gravy and biscuits, super fire. Like I would choose probably gravy and biscuits. Probably buffalo chicken fingers too. Like I actually like all food. There's really not a favorite, I guess. Those are the top three.
All right, well, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up tonight. Thanks everyone for joining in. We'll see you on the next episode next week with Caleb, maybe Richie. We'll see how things work out. Looks like we got one last question. Joshua McGill asks, "Do you have a favorite sports team?"
So the Titans for football, because I'm from Tennessee. I don't really watch basketball much. And Atlanta Braves for baseball.
Awesome.
So go Braves! They won the World Series. Yeah. So
Awesome. Well, thanks again, everyone, for watching. And David, thank you for your time and coming on here.
yeah, man, had a good time.
Thank you. See ya.
All right.